Hello everyone, welcome to our first live Facebook event through the Toolshed. My name's Vanessa, we have Ian with us today.
Hi.
And we also have Helen, who's actually behind the camera, and she's going to sort of field any questions that we have, deal with any technical issues which we hope won't arise, but you never can tell. For those of you who don't know, the Toolshed was actually launched last year, rather bad timing with the pandemic, but we've been going for about a year now, and we're funded by the National Lottery Community Fund. Now, the Toolshed is actually the first tool lending library in Carmarthenshire, and we've been doing lots of sort of online workshops as opposed to face-to-face ones, which was what the original plan was. So this is the first one we're doing, just to see how it goes really, get any questions from you, and hopefully we can answer them as we go along. Now, my role in all of this is actually I'm the project coordinator. Now, my background is actually in fashion, hence why a lot of the online workshops have actually been fabric orientated for the house, upcycling, things like that. But my DIY experience, although I'm not an expert by any means, but I grew up in a very self-build environment. So I absolutely love anything to do with building, power tools, and I'm quite comfortable with trying lots of things at home, which many people aren't. Which one of the things that we want to do here is actually get people doing their own DIY and hopefully not be afraid to try, which I think sometimes is the biggest problem. So that's my experience. Ian can tell you about his background, which is actually a lot better than mine in DIY.
Hi, I've worked in the builders merchants for up to 10 years, so I got DIY skills. I've worked in the plant and tool industry where I've used many small tools and large tools. I've done lots of DIY in my hobby, car maintenance, worked in a bike shop when I was younger, so I have cycled several bikes at home. I repair them myself and obviously service them myself. I've come into this industry now and I'm enjoying it so far. With the family that we got here, it's very good. We have several tools that we got here to hire. We have drills, rechargeable drills that you can use. They come with 2 batteries. We have drill bits that are available to take out when you get the tools off us. It's easy enough. These are easy enough to use because they are hand quick release chuck. So just easy in and easy out. We also do for the general purpose DIY. We got small tool kits that you can loan out, which are obviously you can see Allen keys, hammer, scissors, pliers, levers. So if you're putting a picture rail up or fixing a bed, we have that little tool set available for yourselves. We also got items like this item here. It's actually a saw. Ideal when you're building new doors up in the house. It can trim the bottom of your door, no problem whatsoever. It comes with several tools. The tools are easy enough to fit on. They just screw on and off with your fingers, no special requirements needed. We also keep in stock other items like jigsaws. Jigsaws we got here, and we also have blades available, which are metal cutting or wood cutting.
For those of you who haven't actually been on our website yet, we've been, as I said, doing a lot of online workshops to replace the face-to-face ones that we were initially hoping to do, but because of COVID, like so many other places, we couldn't actually do what we sort of first set out to do. The workshops are all quite varied. They're aimed at kind of beginner level because that's what we're kind of aiming for, is to kind of get you into DIY. But all the workshops will actually use tools that we have available to hire here, or to loan, should I say. So it's all actually free to join. So like I say, if you haven't actually been on and had a look, it's www.cbsatoolshed.org.uk, and that will actually give you all the workshop information, the details on how to join, and it is free, so you may as well join up. So like I say, amongst all the different tools, we've got the drills, we've got all the basic DIY tools that you're going to need, and the workshops that we do literally will use things. So you can see a workshop online, and then you can actually come in, you can borrow the tools to be able to do it. The aim is as well is we've got various sort of sandpaper, nails, screws, hardware, things that go with it. The aim is really to make it as easy as possible for you, so you can just come in, get what you need. If we don't have it for you to have here, then we'll be able to tell you what it is you need to go with it. So any sort of advice or guidance that you might need, that's what we're here to help with. So that's one of the reasons for these sessions, is to actually get some feedback from you, to find out what type of things that you'd actually like us to actually share with you, whether that's a workshop, whether it's just advice. It gives you a chance to ask us. We're always here anyway. You can email us, you can give us a telephone call. It's always nice to talk to somebody. And like I say, that way we can actually design these things to help you, rather than just sort of produce these wonderful things, which I absolutely love doing. I really enjoy upcycling. It's kind of the main aim of what we're trying to do as well. And Helen is waving at me, so I'm guessing there's something to ask.
We've had our first question in, and funny enough, it's about a drill. Can you show us how to fit a drill bit?
Yes, no problem. With the drill bit, on the drill you have directional control on the sides, on either side. So obviously you need to release the chuck first.
What's a chuck?
The chuck is the bit, the jaw, which actually holds the drill bit.
Thank you.
So once the hole is big enough for the drill bit to put in, you then turn the direction on the other way in the drill, pull it up tight until it doesn't turn anymore, and presto, your drill bit is in there nice and safe and solid. And obviously you need to put those settings you're on then. You either drill into wood, you've got a screwdriver option where you can turn the torque on the actual machine, and you've got a hammer action on the top of the drill where you can actually drill into masonry with a masonry bit, which we can supply as well.
And how do you take the drill bit back out?
And how to take the drill bit back out is the same again, opposite of what you've done. So put the direction on the drill the other way, hold the chuck, comes loose, and there is your drill bit out again to change it for the other applications.
Brilliant, thank you, Ian. Next question, the reciprocating saw. How would you use that to cut the bottom of a door? It's something you mentioned earlier. Do you need to take the door off the hook, or can you just do it as is?
It is not a reciprocating saw, it is actually a door trimming saw, where on this item the door will be still hung up on the actual hinges. The blade, you can see, does stick out, so you can trim the actual door when it's in position. Obviously it take you a few minutes to drill, to trim, but that will go through the door, and also does the skirting if you've got anything going around the doorway or anywhere. I like when you put a laminate flooring down, sometimes you've got to trim the bottom of the skirting or door trim.
Thank you. One more question. There's a lady here who's putting up some shelves. She'd like to know what tools she will need to do it.
What you will need is we have a small toolkit where you have a spirit level, which is there. We also have the screwdriver with the bits, and obviously a tape measure to put the centre of the, wherever you go in, the centre of the board. And obviously you will need the drill, and when you've got the drill you need the plugs to go into the wall. which is usually 5 or 6 mil drill bit, sometimes a bit more. And obviously you pick the drill according to the size you want, put it in there, and obviously when you're using the drill, you put the drill on the hammer action then. And you press so within 10-15 minutes, you should be up with yourself.
Thank you very much. We've got a few more people watching. Hello Terry, hello Jane Russell, hello Emily, hope you're okay. Jane says, can you speak up a little bit? Vanessa, you're a bit quiet. Which is something I've never heard anyone say before.
I was going to say, anybody who knows me knows I'm very quiet normally in real life. No, I'm not in the slightest. We do actually have some videos that we've done talking about drills and saws. We've got 3 videos online at the moment, which will basically just go through the basics of how to use a drill and what it does. And they are very basic, but that is one of the biggest things when you're new to DIY, is getting over the sort of, it is a bit of a fear when you're using something like a drill, because especially you could be drilling some wood and it makes one noise, but when you come to drill a piece of masonry or a piece of metal, the noise is quite horrendous and frankly can scare you. So we're trying to take all of that away so you can watch them first and go, do you know what, I can do this, it's really quite easy. Which again is with DIY, a lot of the time is you think I can't do this, but you can. I think it's about finding the confidence to be able to try these things. And you can always try them on a sort of test piece of thing first. I mean, don't have to go straight to your wall and think I've got to put up a shelf. You get bits of wood and you kind of can play with the drill a bit. All our loans are over a week anyway, so it gives you plenty of time to be able to use them. And like I said, we're always on hand to actually help out or guide you if you need them. We will be doing some more videos using some of the different tools here. So like I say, you'll be able to go online and have a look at those. So I hope you can hear me a bit better now. Yes, Helen, who's waving at me from behind the camera.
We've had a lady called Karen, it's the same lady that asked about the shelf actually. She would like to know, can you do a step-by-step guide to putting up a shelf? Thank you for the initial advice, but she needs a bit more. Is that something that we could do?
I think that's something we could do. In all fairness, we've had a couple of people have actually asked about putting up a shelf. So I think it is something that we shall do as a video for people, which will help them.
We've had a comment from Jane here that says also make sure you don't drill through electrics or water pipes. Good tip.
That is actually always a good tip. It's the one thing we don't have installed at the moment, but I would like to get, because you can get a little piece of equipment that will test for any electrical wires or anything behind the walls before you actually start drilling, because yes, it's not very good when you start drilling and find yourself halfway across the room because you've hit a cable. Not good. So we will have that, so you can borrow that as well. So yes.
One more question from Karen again. How do you know which drill bit to use? Can you run through some drill bits? She's got a drill set at home and has no idea how to use it.
Drill bits. Masonry drill bits have usually got, on the top of them, there is like a step bit, an extra bit on the drill. That's a masonry bit. The steel bits, if you sometimes got a HSS high-speed steel, which is a pure fluted and black drill bit. That's for metal, sorry. And a timber bit has usually got a little point on the top, which is quite sharp, and obviously it's like a black and a silver lining going around the drill bit. There is a point on the top for the wood bits. And that's the 3 bits that we actually supply to go out. We also do a hole cutter, adjustable hole cutter, which can go through timber and plasterboards if you're putting lighting up in the ceiling. That's just fits into the chuck of the drill, and you just undo whichever bit you use into the size of the product you're putting into the wall. And we also do a tile cutting bit, which is like a diamond tip bit, which will go through most masonry tiles, and it's like an arrow at the top then. hope that answers one or two questions. Thank you.
And if you're really stuck and you have got your drill bits and you're really still not sure, just take a photo and send it to us, and we might actually be able to go, yeah, that looks like a wood drill bit, etc. so forth.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
That's okay.
We're slow on questions at the moment, but I've noticed that Terry's watching, and I want to say a big thank you to Terry for donating some tools to us a few weeks ago, seems like that. He donated some old drills to us that we can loan out to other people. So thank you very much, Terry, for that. It's really appreciated.
That is true, actually. If anybody does have any tools that they're not using, or they know of somebody who doesn't have any, if they're in good working order, then we do take donations, because the more items that we have, the more we can lend out, the more people we can help. So any donations are always good. Same with gardening equipment. We don't just lend out power tools, we're actually going to be lending out gardening equipment as well. We have got some forks and spades here at the moment. Again, we'll be getting some more. We do have a pole saw as well, which I'm not going to try and drag out now because it's huge, but we also have that. That's on the website as well. So all the things that we have got to offer are actually on the website. Yes, Helen,
I've got another question. Have you got any tips on how to fix a radiator to an old cottage wall where the brackets keep coming out of the old mortar? They can't get the fixings to stay in. Currently there's a breeze block holding it up into one corner.
Oh, we've all been there, trust me. You're not alone.
Possibly move the location. The best thing is probably to try and drill it into the actual stone itself, because the mortar is it's just like going into butter really. You would need to try and get either higher or lower the actual radiator and secure it onto the actual stones, not the actual mortar, because the mortar does go powdery after a while when it's old. Sorry.
Thanks, Ian. Thank you very much. Hope that helps, Jane. Very quiet.
We'll soon find out.
Yeah, we will. We will.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. We're coming to the end.
Thank you.
Well,
So
went quick.
just about
That did go off. Well, next time we're hopefully there will be a next time. If, it hasn't gone too disastrously, but we'll actually be looking at something like bike repair. It's very popular at the moment anyway.
Yeah.
So Ian here will we'll have a bike, and he'll be going through how to just do a general maintenance check on it, and show you how to maintain your bikes. So hopefully next time we will obviously post when that's going to be. Hopefully it'll be fairly soon. And yeah, I hope you've all enjoyed tuning in, and thank you for tuning in. Like I say, it is the first one. We never know how these things are going to go. So thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
We're still on, everyone.
Oh, we did so well.
Yeah, we did.
No, Chris.
We don't want to